Hello, welcome back to What If Naruto is absolutely despised in Konoha and decides to leave and rebuild Uzushiogakure Part 1. Disclaimer: I don't own Naruto nor this fanfic. Naruto always heard this hoarse voice in the back of his head, a voice that carries so much hatred it's overwhelming. He's only a child, barely 8 years old, sent to live on his own since he was 4. He always opted to ignore the voice. It never really spoke, only growled. Nobody in Konoha ever treated him with kindness. Walking down the street in itself was a dangerous thing to do, with drunk civilians constantly lunging at the blonde. The voice would always growl whenever that happened. Despite the hateful looks Naruto got, the blows to the head, the hurtful words, yet he continues to ignore it like nothing's wrong, like he doesn't notice anything. There were very few people in the village who cared for him, one being Ruka-sensei. He's the academy teacher. Ruka treats him to ramen, and talks to him. He doesn't look down at the blonde with disgust and disdain but with care. And then there's Hokage Gigi. Though it doesn't feel like he counts, all he really does is drop off money for the month, ask how he's been and leave. Holding the boy at arm's length, Hiruzen is nothing but a distant grandfather too hung up on grief to care for the boy properly. Konoha has never felt like home for Naruto. It felt like there was somewhere else where Naruto needed to be, but he didn't know where, like he needed to go home, and yet he didn't know where home was. His apartment isn't home either. The dingy place only has 3 rooms, with mold and mildew in the corners. The bathroom had barely running water that would never get hot no matter what he did. Getting sick was always the worst. With barely enough money to get by, getting medicine wasn't an option. Sleep never came easy either. He'd spent 4 or 5 hours in the bed tossing and turning. The thin blanket and hard mattress didn't make it any better either. But tonight something changed. Tonight, for the first time in years, Naruto dreamed. It was cold and damp. For a while all Naruto saw was black, just darkness completely enveloping him. Then it spoke, its voice scratchy, like it hasn't spoken in years. Naruto opened his eyes to see a sewer, and a huge cage with huge red eyes behind it. "I'm surprised a brat like you got here so soon," a broken barge started. "Where am I?" he asked. Humans always ask the most uninteresting questions. "You should know who I am, Brett. You're my jailer after all," the voice continued. "What's your name?" the boy asked innocently. The voice paused for a while, long enough for the silence to become uncomfortable. Naruto almost thought the voice hadn't heard him. Getting ready to repeat the question, the voice spoke. "Humans don't normally ask that." "You're interesting. I'll give you my name. My name is Kurama." Then he woke up. Naruto couldn't go back to sleep afterwards. The name stuck in his head for several days. It gave Naruto a warm, fuzzy feeling, like the feeling when Ruka-sensei praises him. The feeling of having a friend. He has the same dream a week later, waking up in the dirty sewer, and greeted with a cage and glowing red eyes. "You're back again. Why?" Kurama asked impatiently. "I don't know. You seem lonely in that cage," Naruto answered. I don't understand. Humans should fear me, resent me, hate me for killing their loved ones. Why do you care if I seem lonely?" Kurama asked again. "Because I know what being lonely looks like. I want to be your friend," the blonde responded. "You shouldn't be friends with me. I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune, a monster feared by everyone," the fox replied. "The people of Konoha call me a monster too." "That's something we have in common," Naruto said. The fox looked into the eyes of the boy. His eyes told stories of things a child shouldn't have experienced. "We'll talk later, Kit," the fox said abruptly. "Wait," he said in an attempt to stay. But Naruto woke up again. The sun shining in through the windows. For once Naruto didn't feel as alone. He felt like he had a friend, even though they had just met. That day he walked out of his apartment with a genuine smile on his face. Naruto's birthday was always the worst. He couldn't even leave his house. Even though he was 11 now, being older didn't stop the pain, or make it better. Civilians would break into his tiny apartment and make it worse than it already was. They'd wreck his house, write things on the door like demon or monster. He wasn't going to lie and act like the words didn't get to him. Whenever these things happened, Kurama would always get loud. His disgust for what was happening to the boy rolling off Naruto like waves. Whenever October 10th came around, Naruto would always hide by the beach or really any body of water. Nobody would bother to check those places. I mean, who would think a monster like him could swim? Coming back to the apartment wasn't too much fun either. The boy had to spend hours and money fixing the apartment. Kurama had been talking to him whenever he was lonely, which was more often than Naruto would like to admit. Naruto had learned a lot from Kurama, like stories of his parents. Talking to Kurama changed his views on things, like Hiruzen for example. Soon after meeting the nine-tailed fox, Naruto learned how evil people could be to you, and how they lie. The blonde learned that Hiruzen was nothing more than someone who gave him money each month. Naruto knew now that he was just a reminder of death to Hiruzen, a reminder of a tragedy he had no hand in. The ocean-eyed boy, barely minutes old when the tailed beast was sealed into him, his opinion on Ruka-sensei never changed. Ruka was always kind to him, never once changing, or turning his back to the boy. The fox respected the instructor for that. Naruto would graduate next year, learning how to properly make a clone and a shadow clone with Kurama's help. With that, Naruto should ace the exam. Kurama also taught the blonde how to read, write, and cook. As it turns out, cooking was less expensive and healthier than eating ramen every night. Out of everything Kurama would talk to him about, stories about his parents were the best. Naruto would soak up the information like a sponge. He favored his mother more. The way she was described made it seem like she was the most beautiful woman in Konoha. She had red hair, so vibrant you would notice it anywhere. She had deep violet eyes that sometimes looked silver. Kurama said she had a temper that was a force to be reckoned with, and that she fought her bullies very often. Even the teachers were scared of her. His father, on the other hand, was a total hopeless romantic according to Kurama. He chased after his mother so much even though she had rejected him once before. She only fell for him after he had saved her while she was getting kidnapped. In the Hokage office, Hiruzen looked at the painting of Minato with a twinge of sadness. Minato, I wonder how much that boy takes after you, he thought with regret for his own actions. He was wrong. Naruto always took after his mother more. Naruto wished he could have met his parents, or had learned about them in a different way. He thought it was stupid that his own heritage was kept a S-class secret, even to him. It was his family. Why would it be a secret? To protect him? It was just a secret so Hiruzen wouldn't be reminded. Kurama always seemed to dislike all the Hokages, even Naruto's father. Though Naruto didn't mind it much, he understood. Who would like to be caged in someone else? Kurama told him to keep up the dumb blonde shtick so that the Hokage and civilians wouldn't hurt him any more than they already were. It would be easier if they saw him as weak. Then they wouldn't take any drastic measures to keep him locked up and in control. Naruto knows most of Konoha sees him as a weapon now, a time bomb waiting to explode. What if they knew he could talk to the Kyuubi? What if they knew he had a bond with the fox? They would lock him up, or even worse, send him to Danzo. Danzo always gave off the worst aura, even though people barely saw him. His name was spoken with such fear and anger. Kurama always hated him. Naruto hoped he would never have to interact with a man, especially with how much he got away with. Naruto is 12 now. With the Chunin exams being next week, he wanted Kurama to teach him more. Naruto wants to get stronger, to know more about his clan and their specialties, his chakra affinities. He wants to know everything. The blonde had long ditched the bright orange attire, now wearing ocean blues and more dull colors, a change that did not go unnoticed. Ruka-sensei was the first to notice, along with Sasuke. It was a pretty big change to the people around him. Kurama kept teaching Naruto about his clan and his mother. Get, I think it's time we start actually training. Kurama started. Whoa, I didn't know you could talk without me going to that weird sewer place, Naruto exclaimed. Don't talk out loud, brat. I can hear you just fine when you talk to me by just thinking, the fox yelled. So you can hear me like this? Yes, I can. Anyway, back to what I was saying, you need to actually start training. We need to figure out your chakra affinity. It'll probably be a mix between water and wind since that's what your mother had, but let's just check to be sure. Kurama continued. Don't I need chakra paper for that? The shopkeepers don't really like me, so getting chakra paper isn't gonna be easy, the blonde thought. Why don't you ask that teacher of yours? He should have some, Kurama suggested. Ruka-sensei? Yeah, he probably would have some. I'll go ask him. With that, Naruto headed off to Ruka-sensei's apartment. "Ruka-sensei?" Naruto shouted out. "Yeah, Naruto," Ruka replied. "Do you have any chakra paper? I wanted to check my chakra affinity," the boy said. "Chakra paper? I should have some. Here," the instructor said. "Thanks, Ruka-sensei," the blue-eyed boy exclaimed. "No problem, Naruto," Ruka said with a smile. Naruto headed to the outskirts of Konoha, where the trees were thick and formed a canopy where the sun would shine in through the pockets. It's where he would train, where he could be alone with his thoughts. "And Kurama, you got the paper?" "You're acting as if you can't see what I'm seeing," Naruto peeved. "Breath. Anyway, we need to figure out your affinity for sure. Form some chakra into your hand, then hold the paper," the fox huffed. "Fine." Naruto held out the paper. After a few seconds the paper became damp, then split into two. With that answered, Naruto had an affinity towards wind and water, most likely stemming from his mother's side. "I knew you took after your mom more. I'm glad the only thing you inherited from the stupid yandere is his looks." "Well, mostly his looks. Your hair's turning that reddish color your mom has at the tips." The fox laughed out. "Wait, what?" Naruto said in surprise. The boy started running back to his apartment, dodging civilians and shinobi alike. Once back at his apartment, Naruto checked his hair in the bathroom mirror. Just as Kurama said, his hair was turning the same ruby red color his mother once had. "Holy shit!" he whispered to no one. "Huh? You really do take after your mother more," the fox interjected. "Shut up, you stupid fox. How the hell am I supposed to hide this?" Naruto huffed. "Why do you have to hide it?" Kurama asked. "Why wouldn't I? My hair's turning red, you moron!" Naruto exclaimed. "Breath. Anyway, just cut it or something," Kurama stated. "Does it look like I can cut my own hair?" Naruto asked, annoyed. "Yes." A beat of silence passed. "You stupid fucking fox. This is why you're in a damn sewer." Naruto deadpanned. "What did you just say, you breath?" Kurama yelled. After a few minutes of arguing, Naruto found a pair of scissors and trimmed his hair on the tips. Despite never having cut hair before, he did a pretty good job. It looked normal, for the most part. It was almost sundown by now. "Stupid kid. I'd rather be sealed into your mother again than deal with you," Kurama huffed. "And yet you're still talking to me," the blue-eyed boy peeved. "Shut up. I need to teach you about your clan and sealing." "Why sealing?" Naruto asked. "Because it was your clan's specialty," Kurama explained. "Oh," was all that Naruto said. "Anyway, it'll be easier for me to tell you once you go to sleep, since then you'll be in the headscape." "Well, alright," Naruto said. Afterwards, Naruto got ready for bed. He cleaned his house a bit, brushed his teeth and made dinner, which was just simple salmon and rice. After eating, he got into bed. He woke up in a damp, dark sewer once again. "Alright, I'm here," Naruto stated. "Well, you might want to sit down, because it's a long story," Kurama said. Naruto sat down into the shallow water without a second thought. Even though it was a bit uncomfortable, it was better than standing. "Well, first off, there's gonna be rules," Kurama huffed. "Oh, come on. Rules? Seriously?" Naruto whined. "Yes, rules. First off, don't interrupt me. Second, you ask questions at the end. And third, just pay attention. No zoning out," Kurama said. "Fine, fine," Naruto huffed out. "Alright, well, let's start with your mother. You already know Kushina and that she was an Uzumaki, like you." The Uzumakis came from an island, or well, a country called Uzushiogakure. They were close friends with Konoha. They were also feared, though. Kurama began. "Feared? Why?" Naruto asked. "Hey, questions at the end, breath." "But as I was saying, Uzushiogakure and Uzumakis were feared because of their speciality in sealing. Uzumakis always had a long lifespan. They were sometimes called the Village of Vitality. Uzushiogakure was small, though. A village painted with red, golds, and motion blues. It was beautiful for the short time I was there. All my previous Jinchuriki were Uzumakis. Mito Uzumaki, for example, would visit Uzushiogakure from time to time. I can't deny its beauty. They had a goddess. Her name was Ushio, the land obviously being named after her. She is a water goddess. She controls the wind, storm, sky and ocean. She could physically manifest herself at the shrine they had for her. She cared deeply for her people. But that beauty was short-lived. Unfortunately, you see, Uzushiogakure was small. It was an island, where its allies were not close by. A few villages feared Uzushiogakure, feared what they were and what they'd become. Kiri waged war against Usu, along with Iwagakure and Kumagakure. Uzushiogakure fought. They held out for a week, but it wasn't enough. In the end, Uzushiogakure was leveled. The other villages had won the war. The rest of the living Uzumakis fled, scattered across the 5 great nations. They changed their names or went into hiding. Anything that would keep them alive. The goddess Ushio went into a deep slumber after the demise of Uzushiogakure. It's said that she was too deeply wounded by the loss of her people to continue on. Wrecked with grief, she went into that slumber of hers. Apparently she's waiting for another Uzumaki to walk across her land, for an Uzumaki to worship her shrine. Only then will she awaken. But that's all speculation, of course. Kurama finally ended his long story with a laugh. At the end of the story, Naruto was sitting starstruck and with a million questions itching to get out. Kurama, probably noticing he wanted to ask a few things, he finally gave in. "Alright, fine, Kit. What do you wanna ask?" Kurama huffed. "Did my mom see Uzushiogakure get destroyed? Why was Kiri so scared they decided to wage war? Did Kiri try to kill the goddess Ushio? Are there any Uzumaki left? Why didn't Konoha show up and help them with the war? Why didn't any Uzumaki, if there are any left besides me, try to go back to Uzushiogakure?" The boy started. But Kurama had cut him off before he asked any more questions. "Alright, she shall answer your questions, just one at a time. Your mom didn't witness Uzushiogakure fall. She had left before then to become my Jinchuriki. No one knows why Kiri was so scared either. I don't know if there are any Uzumaki left besides you though. I know Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin, is part Uzumaki. Her grandmother is Mito Uzumaki and her grandfather was the first Hokage, Hashirama Senshu. And to answer your question about why Konoha didn't try and help Uzushiogakure, they did try, but they were far too late. Uzushiogakure was already in ruins for about 3 days. None of the Uzumaki went back since the pain was far too much to bear. To go back to the place where you grew up only for it to be reduced to ash. Kurama answered. That answer alone stunned the boy into silence. His clan, or what it once was, no longer existed. The home he should have had, reduced to ash. All because of fear. It invoked anger in him that he didn't know was possible. He wanted to see Uzushiogakure, or what was left of it. Through the story alone it felt more like home than Konoha ever did. So Naruto decided to make a decision. Kurama, teach me everything you know about my clan's specialties. Teach me their culture. Just teach me everything. I want to restore my clan, please. Naruto pleaded. You got it, Kit. Kurama affirmed. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this what if. If you have, please don't forget like, comment and subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. The Genin exams were today, and Naruto was sure he'd ace them. Despite not doing too well in his other classes besides Ruka-sensei's class, he was just barely passing those other classes. He wondered who'd he have as teammates. He never paid too much attention to other people. Besides maybe Sasuke, he never understood why people obsessed over him. Naruto knew the boy had been through a lot, with his clan dying overnight, and with the culprit being Sasuke's own brother that he adored was painful. But Naruto understood him, to an extent. With his own clan being wiped out, even though he never knew them and not having parents, he understood Sasuke, even if Sasuke thought no one understood him. Naruto did. Nearing the academy, the blonde was ripped away from his thoughts. Naruto was starting to get excited. Even with the little time he and Kurama had to train, it was worth it. He felt more confident than ever. Taking an empty seat in the back, he zoned out talking to Kurama until Ruka-sensei showed up. Kurama? Naruto called out. Yeah, Kit? Kurama answered. I'm kinda nervous. Naruto said. I can tell. You're a bundle of nerves. Kurama deadpanned. You can tell my emotions? Naruto exclaimed. Yes, now listen. You're gonna ace this damn test, so stop worrying. Kurama stated. Okay, you're right. I'll ace this stupid test. Naruto affirmed. Damn right. Kurama said proudly. Ruka-sensei came in shortly after. Ruka started shouting out names to do the transformation jutsu. Alas, Naruto's name was finally called. He heard a few snickers as he got up from his seat. "I'm going to eat them," Kurama sneered. "Please don't," Naruto pleaded. Finally making it to the front of the class, Naruto prepared himself. "Naruto, transformation jutsu," Ruka-sensei called out. Naruto transformed into Ruka easily. It was an E-rank jutsu, not that difficult to do. "Good job, Naruto," Ruka-sensei praised. The blonde sat back down in his seat while waiting for the others to take their turn. After they all went, the second part of the test started. They all had to wait in a line and individually do a bunshin. While waiting in line, he noticed a few people. The Rookie 9. Naruto was a part of the Rookie 9 but never took the time to get to know them. He was too busy trying to live. So far he counted only some of their names, those being Sasuke, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Kiba, Hinata, and Sakura. Naruto never liked Sakura much. He just pretended to like her to fit in. She hit him too much for his liking. She acted like a know-it-all. A few minutes later it was finally Naruto's turn. He walked into the room where Ruka-sensei and Hiruzen sat. "Naruto, a bunshin," the Hokage said. Without missing a beat, the blonde created a perfect bunshin. The clone looked exactly like Naruto, and it worked perfectly. The Hokage looked impressed. Naruto had forgotten he had decided to keep up the dumb blonde thing. "Good job," the Hokage said almost reluctantly. Naruto said nothing. He just turned to Ruka to receive his Hittite. Ruka handed it to him with a smile. But it almost felt wrong. To receive a Konoha Hittite, it should be an Uzushiogakure Hittite. Not this. Naruto looked at it and tied it loosely around his neck. "Thanks, Ruka-sensei," Naruto said, completely ignoring the Hokage to his left who was saying congratulations, but Naruto hadn't cared to listen, instead opting to leave the room. Ruka walked out as well. "Alright everyone, I'll be announcing your teams to listen carefully," Ruka called out. But Naruto had zoned out until his name was called once again. "Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, and Uchiha Sasuke," Ruka had called out. The last name ripped Naruto away from his thoughts. Sasuke, Naruto had thought. The blonde had nothing against Sasuke, but he didn't like the way the raven was going down. Revenge would only lead to destruction, to himself and to the people around him. And Naruto definitely did not want to get involved with that. Giving the black-haired boy a glance and grimaced. "No!" someone had screeched. It was a blonde with a purple dress. She apparently had a problem with Sakura since they had started arguing over Sasuke. "This is going to be hell," Naruto thought and winced. Ruka broke up the argument and then said these teams are final and will not be changed. "Now moving on, you will all wait for your sensei to show up." With that done, everyone sat down and waited. It took an hour and a half for Team 7's sensei to show up. When Team 7's sensei showed up, everyone else had already left and it was 3 p.m. Sakura, annoyed, immediately yelled at the Jonin, "You're late." A shinobi shouldn't be late, especially one who's teaching Jonin, she screeched. Honestly, Naruto was starting to get pissed off, and so was Sasuke. "Yo, I'm your sensei, Kakashi. Meet me on the roof," the silver man said, and disappeared. With that, the 3 kids went up onto the roof where their sensei was waiting. "Stupid Hitake," Kurama growled. "Shut up for like 2 seconds." Naruto huffed with an annoyed face. The 3 Jonin sat down once reaching their sensei. "Alright, time for introductions. What about you, Blondie?" Kakashi said, waving to Naruto. "Why don't you introduce yourself first?" Naruto asked. Fine, I'm Hitake Kakashi. I have no intention of telling you my likes or dislikes. As for my dreams, Sir Broken Bar, I have a few hobbies." "Now back to you, Blondie," Kakashi said hurriedly. "He likes porn, by the way," Kurama stated nonchalantly. "Kurama!" Naruto yelled. Naruto cleared his throat quickly to cover the shock on his face. "Well, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. The only dream I have right now is Sir Broken Bar to become as Hokage, and I kind of like ramen," Naruto said. "Shit, I almost slipped up," Naruto cursed internally. Sakura went next for her introduction. All she really did was glance at Sasuke and stutter. She very clearly had some sort of hatred towards Naruto, since she very bluntly said she hates him. "Stupid pink-haired bit," Kurama started. "Don't finish that," Naruto cut him off. Then Sasuke went next. "What about you?" Kakashi asked, gesturing to Sasuke. "My name is Uchiha Sasuke. There are many things I hate, and there aren't a lot of things I like. Also, I have an ambition that I have no intention to leave is just a dream. The revival of my clan, and to a broken bar kill a certain man, Sasuke said grimly, a little melodramatic. Naruto thought, I think he's depressed. Kurama deadpanned. Kurama, Naruto yelled. He had to look away so they couldn't see his face. Sasuke's speech had effectively ended the conversation. Kakashi-sensei just told them to show up to Training Ground 9 at about 5 am and to not eat anything beforehand. If they did they would throw up. Naruto took that as a cue to leave, so he sprinted away as soon as he could. He's emo, I'm telling you, Kurama interjected. Kurama, please, stop, Naruto pleaded. You fine, Kurama said defeated. A few minutes of running Naruto had ended up at the training area he and Kurama always used. I knew you could do the exam, Kurama said proudly. Thanks Kurama. You know, maybe you're not so bad, Naruto responded. The hell is that supposed to mean? Kurama asked accusingly. Anyway, I think it's time you really start teaching me my clan's jutsus. That week we had wasn't enough, Naruto said to shift the subject. Whatever you breath, I'll teach you, Kurama huffed. Thanks you dumb fox, Naruto snickered. God, I hate kids, Kurama thought to himself. The rest of the day Naruto and Kurama spent training in the thick woods, only stopping a little to eat and relax a bit. By the time it was sundown Naruto had made a lot of progress with Fanjutsu. Not enough though, he had also learned some Suidanjutsu and wind release. He was the best at Fanjutsu like his mother. You're doing good kid, Kurama praised. Aw thanks Kurama, Naruto said. We should probably call it quits though. You've got a long day tomorrow, Kurama said. Yeah, you're right. I'll start to head home, Naruto responded. Naruto cleaned up a bit before heading home. He had learned how to put up privacy and protection seals, which he was going to put to use in his apartment as soon as he got home. Heading straight home, still dodging certain places in the district, he was finally at his apartment. He decided to ignore what Kakashi and cooked anyway. He made miso soup, sticky rice, salmon, tofu, and had some seaweed to go with it. Naruto ate a lot of fish since the vendors and shopkeepers didn't want to sell to him. It was easier to just catch the fish than buy it. He took a shower, ate his food and got ready for bed. The next day Naruto got up at 5 am and assumed their sensei would be at least 2 hours late and decided to use that time to train with Kurama. He headed to their training area and got to work, mostly working on Fuinjutsu since it's the thing he wanted to improve the most. An hour later he finally headed to the training area. It took about 30 minutes to get there since Naruto was pretty far. Once he got there he got yelled at. Where the hell were you? Sakura yelled. She's getting on my nerves, Kurama growled, but Naruto ignored his comment. Look, our sensei isn't even here. It doesn't matter if I'm fucking late. Naruto snapped, clearly not in the mood for this so early in the morning. Naruto snapping at them clearly surprised the two. Sasuke looked at the blonde quickly. He's never snapped at someone before, the Raven thought. Sakura however took offense to this. She hadn't been able to voice it since Kakashi sensei got here. Yo. Sorry I got lost on the path of life. Kakashi lamely excused his lateness. You three Kyujin need to pass another test, Kakashi said bluntly. UGH. Another one? Question mark. Seriously? Sakura whined. Yes, or all three of you can be sent back to the academy, Kakashi said seriously. That sentence sent shock through the three kids. Sasuke looked like he was thinking, calculating. Sakura looked shocked, almost like she was about to cry. Naruto however kept a straight face, like he was zoning out, not really paying attention to what was happening. Naruto, sensei's son, Kushina's son, God if only they could see him, Kakashi thought painfully, but with a straight face. Kakashi once asked Hokage-sama to take in Naruto. He was denied since Kakashi was too young, too damaged. Instead of giving into emotions, Kakashi just continued what he was saying. The test is simple. You see these two bells here? Kakashi asked while gesturing to the two bells he pulled out of his kunai pouch. You have to take these two bells from me before afternoon hits. Got it? If you don't then all three of you are getting sent back to the academy. Kakashi continued. But there's only two bells and three of us, Sakura explained. So one of us is going back to the academy, Sasuke said with a dark shadow covering his face. It was pretty damn clear he didn't want to be the one sent back. He's lying. Damn Hitake, scaring poor kids. Well, not my kid, but still, one of you isn't getting sent back to the academy. You're a three-man team, so you all are one. This is about teamwork, not just the bells. Kurama explained. See, this is why you're my favorite fox. Thanks Kurama, Naruto said gleefully. The praise earned a puff from Kurama. Kakashi started a timer and everyone spread out, all three taking off in different directions. Naruto hid in a nearby tree thinking of ways to get Sasuke and Sakura to work with him. Sakura very clearly hated him and wouldn't listen to a damn thing he said. And Sasuke made it pretty clear he was going to do this on his own. So Naruto was on his own, so he decided to just take the bell himself. Coming out of hiding and taking a stance in front of Kakashi, he had a plan to get the bell from the older man. Naruto would lure him into a trap. He had set down a paralysis seal and would just lure Kakashi into it. Using the dumb blonde thing would finally come in handy. Naruto decided to do what he's best at, acting dumb. He charged headfirst at Kakashi, not missing the presence in the trees who was clearly Sasuke. Learning how to tell people apart by their chakra no matter how suppressed it was so helpful. Pushing Kakashi back was surprisingly easy. Based off his body language, the man hadn't noticed the seal coming up right behind him. No one would expect a Jonin to know seals, especially Naruto of all people. Kakashi stepped into the seal's area, and when still, he fell to his knees. Naruto simply walked up and stole one of the bells. Thanks sensei, Naruto said plainly. A seal? There's no way. How did he? Kakashi thought wide-eyed. Naruto ran away into the trees to where they were to meet up after they got the bells or when time ran out. The seal had worn off a few seconds after. Kakashi still on the ground out of shock. How the hell did that Uzushiogakure get the bell before me? And why did Kakashi stop moving all of a sudden when he stepped on that part of the field? Did Naruto do something to it? Sasuke thought in a panic. So Sasuke took this as a chance to get to Kakashi. Charging at the man, he threw kick after kick and punch after punch. Kakashi must have been off his game since Sasuke was able to snag the bell after a quick maneuver. In the end, Sakura got tied to the pole while Naruto and Sasuke ate lunch. Sakura was caught in a genjutsu apparently and had passed out. Sakura was crying, very loudly might I add, and Naruto was getting tired of it. He was just trying to eat lunch in peace. So Naruto decided to offer his lunch to Sakura despite Kakashi telling them not to give her any and Kurama's protests. Do not give her any fucking food. Kid, I swear if you give her any I'm disowning you as my Ginchuriki. Kurama howled, his tails flailing in the cage. But Naruto just ignored him. Here Sakura, Naruto said while giving her chopsticks filled with food. She looked surprised but turned away. I'm not taking food from someone like you. Sasuke-kun, can I have some of your food instead? She pleaded with puppy eyes towards Sasuke. For some reason that pissed Naruto off. Sasuke ended up giving her some of his food, albeit reluctantly. She kept eating from Sasuke's bento until Kakashi sensei showed up again. Hey, didn't I tell you two that you cannot feed Sakura? Kakashi sensei yelled, with something that sounded like anger. Well, we're a team, right? We're technically one. It would be wrong to not give my teammate any food, Naruto explained. Yeah, he's right. We can't let one of our comrades suffer while we don't, Sasuke added with an unchanging face. Kakashi sensei looked down at them for a split second. You a broken bar, all pass, Kakashi sensei said with what looked like a smile. What? They all said in unison. This test was about teamwork, even though you didn't get it in the beginning. I'm proud of you, Kakashi sensei explained. They untied Sakura shortly after. She got her lunch and started eating it. They all said their goodbyes and headed home. Kakashi sensei and Naruto being the first to leave. Sakura stayed behind a bit to try and go on a date with Sasuke, but he rejected her of course. He lingered a little bit longer, thinking about Naruto. How did he even do that? Sasuke wondered. He ended up thinking about Naruto the rest of the day, mainly his appearance, but Sasuke would never admit that. The more Sasuke thought about Naruto, the more this weird feeling in his chest would swell up. It was the same feeling when Sasuke would look at his family, or close to it. This feeling was different though, just a little bit. The Raven brushed it off and headed toward his house, one where he was always alone. Naruto was finally back at his apartment. He spent a little time training with Kurama at their spot. He was winded by the end of it. He called it a day and started getting ready for bed. I don't like how that Okaya was staring at you after you left. He was staring for far too long for my liking. Kurama snarled. You overprotective fox. Naruto joked. No really. He was staring, like he was in a genjutsu or something. Kurama insisted. Kurama, calm down. I know you don't like the Uchiha clan for whatever reason, but I want to get some sleep. Naruto exasperated. Fine, fine, I just don't trust him. Get some sleep, Kit. Good night. Kurama huffed, finally giving it up. Good night.